Hey there, I'm Dale McFadin with Frontstretch.com, and with me is my colleague, Steven Stumpf, and you're looking at maybe the two only people at Kansas Motor Speedway who aren't mad at each other after today's NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Kansas Motor Speedway. Steven, Aric Almirola won, but that's not what we're talking about, are we?
No, it is not. Aric Almirola scooped in with 4 to go to win, but before that, the battle for the win was Custer and Chandler Smith. Chandler Smith was in the lead. He was looking to defend. He blocked in turn 4, put Custer in the wall. Custer was angry on the radio. He eventually, they had a very long battle in the closing laps. Custer finally got by with 10 to go, but by that point he had burned his stuff up too much. Almirola caught up and went on to win. And after that,
and afterwards, they had words.
Yes.
Cole Custer made a beeline for Mr. Chandler Smith on pit road after the race, and the first words out of his mouth, well, I can't say them on this video, but you drove me like an effing clown. And he repeated that word in multiple other instances. And you can see that video on my Twitter feed or on the Frontstretch.com YouTube page. What was funny about it is that Chandler Smith apparently didn't realize what had happened with 45 laps to go when, yes, coming out of turn 4, Smith passed underneath Custer for the lead, and as he came up to complete the pass, he nipped Custer on the left front and forced him into the wall, and Custer said that just forced him back into dirty air, and yes, they raced for the next 14 laps or so before Custer finally took the lead back. But yeah, he was not happy afterwards, and he, like I said, he was sponsored by NXT on the CW, which is a wrestling sponsor, and so he spent his time on pit road cutting promo reels for future races, saying he was going to if he's going to race me like a clown, I'm going to race him like a clown. But they were not the only ones mad at each other. Steven, who else was mad?
It was Sammy Smith mad at AJ Allmendinger and Riley Herbst mad at Austin Hill. For Smith and AJ, it was lap 2. Smith was loose. AJ got in the back of him. Obviously, as he said post-race, he didn't mean to do it. It wasn't something he did on purpose, but at the end of the day, 8 car got into the wall in turn 4, badly damaged the rear end. Smith was only able to get to a 22nd place finish with the damage. AJ also didn't have a great day either in 17th. They exchanged words post-race as well. AJ said AJ's side just, it's racing. I was also being crowded. There's not much I can do when he's so loose. Well, meanwhile, Sammy was very frustrated about, the fact that he was loose and the fact that AJ still pushed him to the limit, just knowing kind of how volatile his car was at that point.
Tell us a little bit about the Riley Herbst and Austin Hill brouhaha.
Yeah, that one happened the final lap of Stage 2. Obviously, everyone's going for as many stage points as they can, especially with Talladega and the Charlotte Roval up next in the playoffs. Austin Hill said that he saw Sheldon Creed in the rearview mirror. He was trying to pull up and block him in order to get those extra points heading to the line, but in doing so, he did not see Riley Herbst. He basically clipped his left rear. Riley spun through the infield, lost a lot of stage points. Obviously, he was very mad there as well. They also had a post-race exchange. Austin was very apologetic, basically saying it was 100% his fault. Well, Riley, obviously, he was glad they managed to go back and finish 10th, but just still frustrated about how the day went, considering they could have had a whole lot more had that spin not happened.
And again, if you're confused, no, we are not at Bristol Motor Speedway. That was last week. We are at Kansas Speedway, where this happens a lot now. This is the track where Mr. Noah Gragson decked Ross Chastain last year. This is where tempers flare. But it's weird, and we love it. Makes for good content. But yeah, it was a very memorable Kansas race. But the weekend's not over, is it, Mr. Stumpf?
No, it is not. If you thought today was awesome, we got 267 laps, 400 miles of action tomorrow at the track that had the closest finish in Cup Series history in May.
Yeah, and starting from the pole will be Christopher Bell with his 3rd straight pole at Kansas Speedway. That's impressive. And this has been a Toyota playground for the last few years, whether it be 2311 Racing or Joe Gibbs Racing. The outlier is Mr. Kyle Larson. Where's he starting tomorrow?
I think he's starting 11th. He did not have. He was kind of a shocker. We expected him to make the final round of qualifying. He just missed 6th place in his start. But also, if you look at Kansas Speedway, Denny and Kyle, they have dominated. They have dominated. They're the only drivers to have top 10s in all 5 next-gen races at this track. Denny's the only one has top 5s in all 5 races. They have average finishes of 2.8 and 3.4. They've had great battles here in the past. Could we see another one tomorrow?
Who knows? But joining Bell on the front row will be his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate, Ty Gibbs. Going farther in the pack, starting 9th, will be Chase Briscoe, who, like some of the other drivers, barely got into the second round after overperforming in the first round. In practice, he did not look good. He was 31st on the speed chart, was 33rd fastest when it came to 10-lap average. But something happened before qualifying, and he was able to advance to the final round of qualifying, and he will start 9th, surprisingly, on Sunday. So good run for him, though he told me after qualifying it'll be a long uphill battle for the number 14 team. He has no idea what to expect tomorrow. But hopefully we get more of what we got in the spring. Probably won't be the closest finish in NASCAR history, but second? Can we get second? What do you think?
Even if it's not the second closest finish, I think we're in pretty good shape for either a close finish, side-by-side racing throughout the day, constant lead changes. We've had all those in the last 3 races here. Whatever it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good one. Much better than last week.
And you can watch that race on the USA Network. The second round of the playoffs gets started. Hopefully it's a good one. I'm Dan McFadin.
I'm Steven Stumpf.
We work for Frontstretch.com, which you need to visit. So take care, have a good night, and enjoy the race tomorrow, everyone.
Steven Stumpf of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.